Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Smackdown review. And, here's a show right here where it shows you got something called the Superstar Shakeup. You think maybe they're going to shake it up a bit. They're supposed to be enticing us. How are they going to build up for a superstar shakeup? First of all, why are we even doing a superstar shakeup? And before there's even a superstar shakeup, they've already got wrestlers coming on to Raw that are from SmackDown, from SmackDown coming on to Raw. It's pointless. It's pointless because leading up to WrestleMania, everyone was on every single show anyway. I don't get the point. And now you've got Cringy Lynch going to both shows. First of all, I don't think there's anyone who truly enjoys the brand split. No one really liked it the first time around. I will never understand why they decided to go back to it. They went through all that trouble of unifying the belts, and then, okay, I get it. They noticed that SmackDown ratings fell pretty low. So what they did is they boosted up SmackDown, by doing the brand split, giving it a purpose again, because SmackDown was just a bunch of rematches from Raw. It basically felt like Sunday Night Heat, like circa 2004. Most people ignored it. Most people didn't even watch it. So that's kind of like the mentality that they had with SmackDown for quite a few years. So they made it relevant again. Obviously, there was a time on here where I didn't even review the show. I started doing it again because they did the brand split, and I hate them for it because it obligates me to review the show. Because, for my subs, if I don't review SmackDown, we're missing a great portion of what's going on currently in WWE, and so people want to hear that, so I'm kind of stuck. So I was really hoping that they would, please, for the love of God, make SmackDown irrelevant again so I don't have to watch it. That would be wonderful. Imagine just feeling obligated to just watching one show a week, which would be Raw. That would be pretty good. Just watching Raw, that'd be quick and painless. I watch the clips, do a review, I wouldn't be complaining. But anyway, the brand split is not ending despite all the rumors. I don't get it. So they had Cringy Lynch just win both belts just so she could hold on to both of them. I don't get it. It's like they're teasing it. They did the winner take all on Raw. But anyway, so speaking of that, we start off with New Day. They're doing their celebration. The Bar interrupts. I don't know why all of a sudden the Bar has such a problem with Kofi. They were involved in the gauntlet matches, I guess. You could say that. They say they made a new friend. They're going to have a tag match, and they introduced Drew McIntyre. So, if it was me, if someone's going to take the belt off of Kofi Kingston, I would say, give it to Drew McIntyre. I mean, I think this guy's done enough to really warrant a world title. But at this point, what am I even saying? Does it even matter who wins the world title anymore? Honestly, I can't even believe I even just spoke that sentence. Because here's one thing. There's been the fact that Kofi Kingston has won the world title. That should basically tell you all you need to know right there of how important the belt is. How important is a belt? Not very important at all, obviously, because they're willing to give it to probably the most random person on the roster. And this guy, I'm telling you, he was a tag team wrestler for how many years? And look what they're doing once again. He just got the belt, and they're already throwing him into a tag match again, just proving that he's not really world title material. But I don't know, everyone loves him online, apparently. There's a lot of people, who are even happy about him on my channel, but I guess, if you like Kofi, to each their own, I guess. Kofi Kingston is a talented guy, but he's got no charisma, and I'm sorry I don't see him as a main eventer. I see him just about on the same level as Cody Rhodes. But at least Cody Rhodes is going to be owning his own company. Kofi Kingston is not going to be doing that. He's just going to be a guy masquerading as a world champion. Then we have our first match. It's the Lion King guy, Aleister Black and Ricochet defeating Nakamura, Rusev, and Andrade. I was thinking to myself, I don't know if Rey Mysterio was really injured. I'm going to guess because he wasn't, on the show tonight. He probably was. But how awesome would it have been if we could have gotten Rey Mysterio versus Andrade? I was enjoying those matches. Those were pretty well done matches. And they spend so much time with Andrade. I don't understand, what the thing is. Why they don't like him, because obviously every single time they put him out there, he loses. They don't really want to push the guy. I mean, I see a star in Andrade. I don't really see a lot of people really giving too much of a shit about him. In my videos, I don't even see anyone ever commenting about Andrade or anything. So I guess people don't even really care. To them, Andrade's career is a moot point. We all know he's not going to become anything. And here you go. Here's an NXT champion. I mean, you could at least say that. Just about everyone who won a belt, in NXT, who was the champion, they're at least doing something with them. I don't know. But I guess you could just pretty much say that it's pretty safe to say they're not going to be doing too much with Andrade. At the end of the match, you have Randy Orton coming out, giving the RKO to Mustafa Ali. And then Kevin Owens, for some reason, comes out and... What did he give the stunner to Rusev or something? I forgot who he gave it to. It's just totally random. I don't even know, what that was even about. Is this not just the most random show ever? Honestly, it makes about as much sense as the Bar randomly interfering on Raw. Where did that even come from? No explanation. And I heard Corey Graves even talking about how why are they there? He said that on Raw. Why are they there? They didn't even explain it. The closest that Sheamus got at the beginning of the show to explaining why they were there was the simple fact that he said that you should be thanking us because we helped you, because you looked like you were about to lose. So how that statement could have been cleared up. We wanted to keep the title on SmackDown, but he didn't say it that way. I don't get that. That's all they needed to say to kind of make sense of it, sort of. But I didn't get this, Orton just randomly coming out, are we gonna get that, honestly? Am I supposed to buy a Mustafa Ali Randy Orton match, that being a thing? And, Kevin Owens' appearance was just what? Why is he even out there? They totally forgot the guy at WrestleMania. I don't know if he was, stuck at the bowling alley again, if he was eating a hot dog or something like that, but... it's they totally forgot about the guy for WrestleMania. Was he in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Because if he was, I missed that. Carmella comes out and she's there with R-Truth, and this is completely pointless. I don't even know what this was even supposed to be about, so I didn't even know. I asked the question on Raw, was there even a women's battle royal? Turns out there was, and Carmella won it. So that's good, because if I'm to pick anybody, I probably would have picked her to win, but I don't see any gears turning here. Is she challenging Cringy Lynch? No. What is R-Truth doing here? Nothing. They do a Did they do the dance break? I don't even remember if they did. They talked about doing the dance break at WrestleMania. But, you know, they do the same thing. You know, R-Truth gets it wrong. He says that Carmella won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And she goes, no, Truth. Anybody notice that they completely, like, removed her accent? Like, remember, like, they really used to make her, you know, do the accent. Even I know she's not really from Staten Island, but, you know, she's from Boston or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, like, they completely, like, got rid of the gimmick and everything. And I'm sorry, that just makes her boring. Now she just sounds like a Valley girl. She sounds like one of the Bella twins. Like, you just have to completely remove everything that makes any, like, wrestler, like, interesting. Like, you can't, like, just leave All Enough alone. Like, Carmella talks in a way that no one else on the roster speaks. So you think maybe they could just, you know, leave that so, like, she has a certain style of speaking that's unique to her promo, unique to her. No, they gotta take it all away from her for some reason. Make her as bland as possible. Samoa Joe comes out there, starts gloating about beating Rey Mysterio in under 60 seconds. Braun Strowman comes out, and, you know, Braun Strowman, it's like just, I'm like, I can't even get into this guy. Like, the fact, like, you guys know that I'm a pretty big fan of Strowman, and it's not his fault, obviously. He tried the hardest he could. I mean, there was talk about the guy getting to the arena late. That's, you know, he's not dependable. If that's the case, then why is he even on the roster? Like, honestly, are we gonna have this guy just going up and down the roster constantly, and there's no rhyme or reason to anything he does? And, you know, they're gonna, like, build him to be dominant during the year, but then, like, when WrestleMania rolls around, you know, like, honestly, do you guys realize that this guy hasn't had any big Mania match? Technically, he wasn't even on Mania, if you want to count the pre-show. But let's think about this. In 2017, right before WrestleMania, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman had a match at Fastlane. Roman Reigns beats him, right? Doesn't have a match at Mania. They put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but he lost it. In 2018, he had the match with that referee's son with the tag titles, right? Winning the title with the kid, whatever the fuck his name is. This year he wasn't on the show again. He was on the pre-show with the guys from SNL. I mean, like, he's a laughing stock, and, you know, if that's like a way of trying to punish him, I mean, it's stupid already. You know, you put the guy on screen and, you know, you still keep him dominant. Like, he doesn't lose or anything like that. Well, no, he actually wins. But the thing is, like, you're not doing anything significant with him. And if you're punishing him, why are you even employing the guy? I mean, like, doesn't he realize how ridiculous this is? Like, how many years they've been building Strowman as a monster? Then, you know, then he, like, will lose when they give him a world title match. Like, I'm sick of watching this already. At this point, I have to say, like, honestly, get rid of him or do something with him that's gonna, you know, remain constant. Otherwise, like, what is the point? Are we supposed to watch this for year after year and see Strowman do this up and down pattern? It's, like, ridiculous. The guy is obviously a star. He looks like the toughest guy you've got now. I mean, well, now, I guess Lars Sullivan is going to give him a run for his money, but, you know, you're probably going to see the guy. Obviously, Lars has a lot of problems. He almost didn't even make it onto the roster. We'll talk about that in a minute. So Joe and Strowman brawl. I'm sorry, but I'm still not buying Joe as a tough guy. Like, you know, just seeing these two fight, I'm sorry, but Strowman would beat this guy's ass. He's just a fatty, that's all it is. And you look at Strowman, who's gotten even leaner. Like, this guy just looks like he'd tear anybody's head off. And Samoa Joe, like, I mean, the guy should be, like, really not even able to stand toe-to-toe with this guy. Then they have the Iconics, and they defeat the Brooklyn Bells, which are just jobbers. The Iconics beat them. Okay, great. Paige is backstage, and, she randomly says she's going to bring in a tag team. People are saying that this is going to be Kari Sane and the other girl, the Sky Pirates. They seem talented, but they're going to come on to the main roster. They're going to be yet another tag team. Everyone who's asking for these people, these are all the NXT fans, all the NXT marks, all the smart marks asking for this. And it's they're begging for these NXT people to be brought up onto the main roster. But then when they get there, they already know that they're going to be ruined. So what the hell is the point of even bringing them up there? Just keep them in NXT then. What is even the point? You beg them to bring them up. Then when they bring them up, you're unhappy that they're not treated. And the thing is because a lot of the people who they bring up are not even that great. I'm sorry, but Ricochet should go right back to where he came from, because as far as I'm concerned, that guy's not a main roster player at all. He would probably just do a lot better staying in NXT. I think McMahon was right about that. Shane comes out, and this is probably the most ridiculous promo I've ever fucking heard. And Wade Keller says that this is a hoot. I don't think so. Shane McMahon says to the announcer, he cuts a promo on the fucking ring announcer, and he says that he didn't put enough oomph in his voice, and he keeps telling him to redo the announcement. The Miz is not there. He just keeps going over and over and over, saying the same announcement. It's not good enough. Do it better. And then, then he's satisfied by it. And then that's the end of the promo. What in the world was that? Honestly, that was the promo? That's what Shane McMahon is going to do the SmackDown after Mania. His first appearance since WrestleMania. He's going to cut a promo on the ring announcer. It's not even the ring announcer is a former wrestler or anything where there's any chance of a possible match. So you're telling me that this is what we're getting. This is the promo for the night. Great. I mean, that's just wonderful. I mean, that was so creative to write a segment for Shane McMahon where he's just berating a ring announcer for the way how he announced him. What did we get out of this? What did this further for Shane McMahon? Is The Miz still going to have a feud with him? Did that further anything between the two of them? And first of all, if they went off a big, drop there, and it looked fake as fuck, I don't know if they're admitting that it looked fake as fuck, because Shane McMahon looks perfectly fine. No selling of injuries, no medical update on The Miz or anything like that. And keep in mind, it was The Miz who suplexed Shane. He did the move to Shane. And really when you think about it, the move is kind of both people get the worst of it. The Hardys defeated the Usos to win the tag titles, which, guys, I said this when they came back. Really at this stage in the game, putting the Hardys together, when the Hardys came back and they had them win the tag titles on their first night, I was like, okay, that's great, that's wonderful, that's probably exactly what they should do. Let's get the nostalgia going. It's a ladder match. Let's have them come in and win the belts. Fine with it, no complaints there. It was a great moment, a great way to open WrestleMania. But from that point, they started just treating the Hardys like they're just another tag team on the roster, and I ranted throughout the entire 2017 saying that exact phrase. Just another team on the roster, just another team on the roster. I kept saying it over and over. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. They ended up splitting them up. They finally gave Matt Hardy his broken gimmick, his woken gimmick, whatever you want to call it, and Jeff was on his own. Jeff should have been wrestling for the world title. He had like maybe 1 or 2 matches, I think, for it. But they made him a mid-carder. They completely ruined the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. And sure enough, they're back together again. And like because it just shows they failed at pushing these guys as single stars. And I don't understand what's so hard. Jeff Hardy won the WWE title, no problem. They had no problem pushing him back in 2008. For some reason now, it's like, you know, it's a really complicated algebraic equation. Oh, how do we push this guy? It's, you know, the whole crowd's cheering for him. Matt Hardy, oh, everyone's chanting delete. I don't understand this gimmick. I mean, it just shows just how clueless everyone is involved. And then Lars comes out, destroys the Hardys, very reminiscent of the of Brock Lesnar, like destroying the Hardy Boys, and Lars just looks like a total fucking monster. As far as I'm concerned, Lars looks tougher than Braun Strowman. I don't know if it's because I'm just sick of Braun Strowman already, because, you know, just made the guy look like a damn goof. And, you know, PlayStation Guy 85 knows exactly where I'm coming from, agreeing with me on this. It's just a matter of time before they ruin Lars. You know, he's going to be really tough. They'll probably give him about 1 or 2 more weeks of, you know, crushing guys and everything. And then they're going to have, like, you know, Finn Balor or something. He's going to wrestle for the Intercontinental title, and Finn Balor, like, power bombs him. Oh, my God, it's a miracle. I hope not, but I know that's what's going to happen. Because, you know, it's like, come on, guys. Like, stop acting like noobs at this. Like, you know how this is going to go. You've had enough evidence already, enough repeat performances from the WWE to know that this is the way how things usually play out. Cringy Lynch comes out, and like, because we needed another long-winded, boring promo from her, it's time for Stone Cold Cringy Lynch to come out and do another promo. And she said basically the same thing. I've got 2 shiny belts. Like, okay, like, first of all, they just gave her the belts just so she could have 2 belts. Like, it's not even like they've been unified or anything like that. And, you know, a lot of times, like, they carry around both belts. Jericho did it and Triple H did it until they finally came up with a design for, you know, one undisputed title. Also, Daniel Bryan did it too, you know, until they eventually, you know, fused it into one belt. So, you know, I don't get it. Like, they just gave her both belts just so she could be, you know, a double champion. Then she walks out of the ring, and Lacey Evans comes down. She comes out, like, they had a big scuffle. Lacey punched her on Raw. Becky took it to her. And, you know, and that was, like, kind of, like, not the debut of Lacey, obviously, but that was, like, the first time she actually, like, did something consequential on the show of any type of substance. And, you know, she ran off like a chicken shit heel. This time around, Lacey comes down, she punches Becky. Becky, like, falls down on the floor like it was the Big Show, or better yet, Mike Tyson throwing the punch. Selling it like she got hit by a fucking Mack truck. Like she got ran over by an 18-wheeler. Could someone explain to me how Lacey Evans punched her on Raw? Becky was just fine and managed to retaliate almost immediately. But for some reason, she does it on SmackDown. I don't know if it was something with SmackDown, if it was the lights, if the air was too thin, or something happened. But, you know, like, what the fuck? Like, that was, and then Becky's just like sitting there on the ramp staring at her. She's going, she stumbles to get back up. Like, I don't know what that was. Was she told to sell it like that? Like, or was she just overselling it? I don't know, but I'm just noticing that almost everything that is like the worst type of cringe is coming from this girl right here, from old Cringy Lynch. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's always she's doing something, and especially when it comes to selling, it's either overselling or not selling at all, selling the wrong leg, or not understanding, how physics work, that, when you have a messed up leg, you can't like pull yourself up onto a ring apron. Like, it just doesn't work. Now, I don't know if someone's instructing her to do this. There's supposedly professionals there in the back. But, I thought like that the agents only work on matches, so I don't know who's giving her pointers on this other shit. But it's horrible. And the way how she sold this, like, one punch from another girl, and she took the same move on Raw. And it's not like she had a match after, or something like that. No, it was same thing right after a promo. And did we really even need that promo, where we got the same information, the same dragged out, boring promo from her? Then we got New Day coming out for their match, the Bar and Drew, and Zayn gets on the stage. The crowd starts singing his theme song, and then he says, "You know what? You're not worth it." Walks away. Okay, well, thanks for that. Just, like, any more bizarre shit that you want to throw out there, like, by any chance, do you want to, like, throw anything that's even more bizarre at us, or even more random that doesn't make any sense? Because you might as well at this point. I don't know if it's after Mania, and it's just, let's just get all our shit out that just, like, you would think that after that horrible build, they couldn't go down any further. I mean, this is the very definition of a sinking ship. I mean, this bad boy just keeps on going down and down and down, and decreases in quality. And we're after Mania, and things, I didn't think they could get any more boring or drab, and it seems like I was wrong about that. So we have our match, and Kofi beats Sheamus because, yeah, why not? It looks totally fine, And Drew McIntyre just, like, disappeared during this match. I don't even know where the fuck he went. I thought that they were going to have, like, Drew, like, looking dominant against Kofi or something like that. Like, him being a threat to the title. I guess not. There it is. Just a plain, boring main event match. And, the Bar was a threat to him on Raw. They already beat him. He basically beat him 3-on-2. I mean, I don't know what happened with Drew, if he got, like, injured or something like that. I was reading, like, Keller was trying to say, like, what happened there, too. I don't know. But there you go, guys. There's your SmackDown review. What a wonderful show. Just perfectly complimenting the worst Raw of all time. The worst WrestleMania of all time. The worst Raw after Mania. And whatever they call it, this is the SmackDown after Mania, or whatever the hell you want to refer to it as. It was the worst SmackDown following WrestleMania, without a doubt. Like I said, I'm not using hyperbole here. It's not the worst SmackDown ever, not the worst Raw ever, but definitely probably the worst follow-ups I've ever seen. Well, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this SmackDown review. Please leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, this has been your YWC Champ, and I'm signing out.